Hey y'all, so welcome to another Project Life layout. And for this layout, I'm going to be focusing on using the ephemera pack from the Maggie Holmes Carousel Collection, along with doing my own Project Life cards using scraps from the papers that I received in my Hip Kit Club in August of 2017. I love this collection. I cannot get enough of it. I think this is my fourth time using it, and I'm still not over it. So to start with, I'm going to do my title card. This is my 22nd birthday, so this paper, is perfect because it kind of has like a garland. So now I think these page protectors are from Hobby Lobby, and they're just a bit short than the norm, so I have to trim them just a little bit more to really fit. And I also like to seal the top of my pockets with my fuse tool, so I have to also make space for that and trim my cards down. This scallopy hand-drawn one, I want to use a lot of light colors or patterns that are lighter with a lot of white in them. So this is something that I don't do often. I am going to use white cardstock and use that as the background of my cards, the colors of my cards. That's what I'm trying to say. A lot of white because, like I said, I'm going to focus on using up that ephemera, and I don't want the ephemera so much on a busy background. You could totally do that if you like, but for me, I want the ephemera to be more of the focus, and or adding scraps or something like that. So I want just a plain, fresh white background. And if you notice, most of these photos are, actually all of them, are the Fujifilm Instax photos, and I had received that from was that for my birthday? I don't remember. Nathan at the time, it was my boyfriend, he gave me that. We're married now, so it's totally cool. He had given me that for, I can't remember if that was for my birthday. But anyway, so here's something also. I've noticed that some pockets are going to have two back to back of that Instax film. And so I thought it'd be neat to have it floating a little bit. So I used Tool, and I'm going to pretend that is my card. If you noticed, I used a different pair of scissors and it cuts way easier. I cannot stress enough to have a different pair of scissors for fabric and have a different pair of scissors for paper. Just separate. It just works so much better that way. So I'm just going to tape that on the same, and that's pretty much done. I think that's all I do to the Tool cards. And I love these little templates. These are from Simple Stories. I use them a lot. Maybe not every time, but I use them quite often. I do not regret this purchase. I don't know if they have them anymore. I bought them in Michael's when Simple Stories was in Michael's with their like Smash books. At first when I bought them, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. I'm just buying them because they're on sale. They were super cheap, and I do not regret the buy. If they still have them, if you guys catch them, maybe they'll bring them in Tuesday morning. Grab some if you do Project Life because they're just pretty awesome. Or if you do Happy Mail, it's just so much easier to get them and just cut off right then and there than bringing out your trim, that trim board. Oh my god, I don't always have that near me. I don't have it on my desk, so it's easier to use these little templates. So here I'm going to use a doily. I think that's going to break up all the squares, and I actually really like that, to use a doily as a card. If you notice, my roll of this wider double-sided adhesive is running out, and I got it at Joann's, and it was huge, and I only got it for, was it $1.50 or $3? I can't remember. Maybe it was $3 originally, and I got it for $1.50 with a coupon. And I wish I would have gotten like 3 of them or 5 of them. Okay, so what am I doing here? I'm just going through the ephemera and seeing, do I want to put some layers behind some of these pictures like I normally do, or do I want to more so stick with little bits of the ephemera? And I think I started off with that. And this little tag here says celebrate or label. Okay, so this picture has a scary carousel horse on it. I mean, the face is pretty scary, and I'm like, I don't like this. Like, why would I want a picture of this? So I decided to use that as my card so I could cover up the scary looking horse. It's scary looking. I think that came in the cut apart in the 12 by 12 paper pad. Gonna use that floral tag up there. And now I want to cut out the Today Was Magic, so I use my tiny X-Acto knife that I got from Hobby Lobby, and my hands just work better with the tiny X-Acto knife than the ones with the longer handle on them. I just have a better cut with them. Now, just going through this or putting it away. These cards are too big. The ephemera are so big. So many big pieces. Great for layering or for Happy Mail, or for those kind of scrappy projects. I really wanted to use this black frame, but there's not really a photo that is emphasized like real special. Not that sounds bad because they're all really nice people in these pictures. But what I mean is it didn't need it. So here is a waste of time. This Tombow removal adhesive is a joke. I don't like it, and I'm glad I'm finished with it. That was me finishing with it with a thumbs down. I just have nothing good to say about this adhesive, and I'll probably, no, I know, I won't ever buy it again. That You Are Wonderful up there. I've been wanting to use that You Are Wonderful for a while. This little bit of a bingo piece that I cut out. I always cut out my ephemera pieces if they're going to be tucked behind a photo, larger ones, so I could use those bits of pieces maybe in my project life. And you see me doing that here. Then I'm just seeing where this ephemera goes. Like I said, I really wanted to focus on the ephemera, so I guess you can say this video is good to give you ideas to really just use up ephemera if you have a lot of it. Get some white cardstock and use that as your background and just start filling up your layouts and decorate your photos with ephemera. I have been wanting to use this yay piece forever, and I'm so glad that this layout is just the perfect occasion to use that big yay, and it's also perfect for a title card because it just catches your eye. It's just so big and bold. Now with this tag, I'm looking for some twine. I wanted that light pink, but I think it just meshed a little bit too much. You couldn't really see it, so I got some more things out. I got some glitter, which I don't end up using. And then I got some more of some trim, some ribbon. And I actually end up using this shiny white ribbon trim. And it's kind of has like an iridescent thread in it. It's pretty neat. I got them at Hobby Lobby, and it's the Paper Studio brand, so sometimes you can get them for 50 cents. Not bad. Kind of fussing with the thread to make it look a little match the other one because it was already undoing. So then gonna just staple it there. Make sure it doesn't go anywhere because it is gonna peek out of the pocket. This You Are Wonderful. I didn't want to trim it, so I didn't have a solution yet, and so I just left it for there for now. Then these pieces are both paper. I want to add some dimension to it so it won't look so flat. So I put on some foam dots. Grabbing that other bit of doily that I cut off, and I'm going to use it on this photo. So don't throw away your scraps because you just don't know. Even little bits like this, like, I mean, I probably have thrown away stuff like that, but for some reason something told me not to throw it away, and so there you go. On to this next card, the Celebrate. I think I wanted to add a little bit of texture, so I had a piece of that tulle left. And what do y'all use to adhere tulle or fabric? because I thought for sure my red line tape would work, and it did for the back. And I thought, oh well, it's tulle, it's got um, it's mesh, so the adhesive will come through, but it didn't. So I had to put some red line tape behind the Celebrate so it can adhere to the tulle. But I'm wondering if there's something else that you can use. Because what if you want to use tulle like on white and you don't want the adhesive to show through? Here, I'm covering it, so that's fine. But what do y'all use? What adhesive do you use for fabric? So this is something I've never really talked about, but if y'all notice, I have all different types of adhesive and glue, and that's because I'm working with different types of surfaces and textures. So with liquid adhesive, I mostly use paper on paper, and with my double-sided tape adhesive, I use on photos because I find it a bit stronger than dotted adhesive, and I use my dotted adhesive for ephemera or things of that sort that I know I'm going to move around. Sometimes I'll use it on photos, but most of the time I use permanent double-sided tape adhesive. And I usually have those 3 on my desk every time I scrap. And I end up using those 3 every time. So that's just a little something if you noticed that I don't just have just liquid adhesive, or I don't just use dotted adhesive in one spread or double-sided tape, because I just find it easier actually to have all these different types so that I'm not struggling. For instance, that doily, that would be kind of hard with a dotted adhesive because it's so delicate. But then the dotted adhesive is just not strong enough for photos, like I said. And then the double-sided permanent tape, I said that all mixed up. But that wouldn't give me the flexibility that dotted adhesive does to move things around. So, yeah. Okay, I totally skipped that piece. I wanted a little bit of dimension or texture, something to catch my eye on that yay. So I just frayed it a little bit with my scissors where the dots are to give me a little bit of texture. Then I bring out these stars, which are my favorite right now. I got them at Hobby Lobby when they were clearance out, so I don't know if they still have them. And using the yellow and the blue, and I really want to use another one. And oh, I guess I end up using this white one. Or no, I put it back. Yo, sorry y'all. Fiddling where to put it, the right spot for it, because I do have that gap in between those 2 photos. And I want to fill in that space so it won't look awkward, because it looks awkward empty to my eye. Now this bow. I've had this wood veneer stickers for quite some time. I don't know what designer it is, so couldn't tell you. Just looking for the right placement. And I think that star, yeah. And I think I'm done, yeah. And this is the finished layout of it all. I hope you enjoyed this. I had so much fun working with Maggie Holmes Carousel Collection. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!